One.
Yo, welcome back, guys. Me and Hunt back in the building. About to talk about some football, some fantasy football, a little bit of basketball here. We're in August, so a little bit of a dry spot in all professional sports. But without further ado, Hump, how's it going, man?
Going great, bro. Finishing up the summer, getting ready for school, ready to go tailgating, watch some Tigers.
Hey, it's a big week one
Tigers.
matchup. Big week one matchup.
Clemson.
What's the real Death Valley?
No, man. Them Tigers, man. Not them
Do you know
orange Tigers, them yellow ones.
where are they playing at? Is it like a neutral site?
Yeah, I think so. It should be. I think. I
You think they
think.
can break the curse? I saw five first week matchups they lost in a row.
It depends, man. Depends how Clemson's coming out.
Yeah.
Cade isn't no joke, bro. He's no joke.
Why do you
Um,
think they do that? Why do you think they schedule the toughest opponents first week one?
to try to get higher up in the rankings. Is
But
Clemson
like,
below
yeah,
us? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Clemson's six and LSU's nine. I know that Clemson's like a 3.5 point favorite. Should be a good one though. Excited to see what Nuss does. My guy Whit
Yeah,
Weeks
bro.
and all the Weeks brothers.
They just making
Yeah.
them out there, man.
Corn fed. Like they're out of Gina.
Cornbread fed.
Cornbread fed, like out of Gina, dude. Those Gina
Yeah,
dudes
oh
are
my
different.
goodness. Those are
Some grown,
giants.
yeah,
Little
no pun intended.
giants, dude.
Gina Giants. All right, we're gonna hop into it. First, we're gonna talk about what players do we think in the NBA have the potential to be, I guess, be budding stars next year and possibly even all stars. I'll start us off here. I think that I like Khalil Ware for the Miami Heat, center out of Indiana. I think that he's able to stretch the floor, able to give you some type of defense. I think he's going to develop into the Miles Turner type defender and stretch five that can help the Miami Heat. And with him being a center, in my opinion, it moves Bam to his most natural position, which is power forward. Bam's always been an undersized center, but I think that he could be a solid power forward. And he likes to operate in the mid range and kind of on the post and in the paint with Khalil Ware's stretch five ability. I think that that'll open up the floor for the Miami Heat. It might allow them to do something. Now, I know I kind of said all-star this year. I don't think he's going to be an all-star, but I think that he will improve and possibly even be an all-defensive second team or and give maybe his ascension will allow for the Heat to become a better team as well as Bam become a better player. So yeah, I'm gonna rock with Khalil Ware. I think he's got gonna improve off of a solid rookie campaign, and I think that his contributions to this Heat team could make them a playing a solid playing team, 6, 7, 7, 8 seed.
Okay. Okay. My first pick, I'm going with Derek Lively. I think I feel him becoming like the bona fide starter when the season starts. I think he's probably gonna average a double double. He had 7.5 rebounds last year. Probably gonna take that step. I see them moving AD to the four, probably.
Yeah,
All-star. As a big in today's time, it's hard to become an all-star rather than this like for a point guard because you got guys like Jokic, Giannis, AD, Evan Mobley, Bam, Miles Turner. You could say DeAndre Ayton. You got guys like that who are very versatile. So somebody like him who not a three-point shooter, but is a very good rebounder, can work the inside pretty well. I think he's gonna be pretty decent without Kyrie for now. So hey, double. I see him averaging double double. I say 13 and 14 rebounds.
okay. So I really agree with what you said, man. Especially in the West, it's hard to become an all-star. I mean, like you said, you have Jokic every year. You're gonna have Sabonis who's consistently putting up numbers, whether he's an all-star or he's not. You have other centers. Even on his old team, he has internal competition with Daniel Gafford. But my only thing with Lively is I feel like he thrived most whenever he had a pass first point guard. And I'm not saying D'Angelo Russell is not a cannot pass the ball, but I guess I kind of because Derek Lively's like the ideal lob threat center. He hasn't really shown that he can stretch the floor consistently. Maybe he adds that to his game. I'm not sure. But that's the only thing I kind of worry about with Derek Lively is he's not really, he's kind of like an off-ball player, but he's definitely can make an impact on both sides of the floor.
like a
You think,
DeAndre Jordan.
yeah, you think
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell can help with his ascension, or you think it's wait till Kyrie comes back and then you really see it?
I think once Kyrie comes back, I think, but like until Kyrie comes back, he's gonna be real serviceable. I think you're gonna
Mhm.
start to see more and more if you give him more minutes and let him start more games. You're gonna see, oh, he looks like a good rotational player. Maybe you can start him. But
Yeah,
when Kyrie comes back, you put him with somebody who has experience with being a facilitator and also being able to pull more defenders in. I
yeah,
think then you're gonna see it's like a rocket on Derek Lively. Because I seen it 2 years ago in the playoffs. He
yeah.
was amazing and he was coming off the bench. So I think with D'Angelo Russell, I don't know. He's always seemed like a selfish player to me.
Yeah.
Not that he's a bad player, he just seems kind of selfish when it comes to taking shots. So I said it depends. It depends, but I think his numbers are gonna drastically improve. So
So do you think he'll start? You might have
yes,
hit it. Yeah, you think
100%.
he'll start?
100%.
They have a pretty solid front court rotation with him, Gafford, AD. Whether or not you want to consider Cooper Flag a power forward or whatever, but still a pretty solid big man rotation. Definitely a sleeper team.
Yeah,
Maybe not even a
definitely a
sleeper.
playoff team.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna move on to my next player that I think will be an all-star, borderline all-star. Trey Murphy. Shout out to Trey Murphy. What he watches the pod, hit me up himself. Um, but Trey Murphy might be a little biased because he's on the New Orleans Pelicans, but go watch some highlights. Go educate yourself. This dude is 6'10". He's a threat from whenever he steps over the half court line. He's an automatic threat. He can pull it from future pause. He can pull it from 50, I'm not 50, 40, 30. And this past year, he's had a lot of strides in terms of becoming that three-level scorer. Hit a couple mid-ranges. Drew fouls, got to the free throw line. He's a plus defender. I'm not saying he's a Herb Jones level defender, but he's a plus defender. And I think with Brandon Ingram out of New Orleans, I think that he has the potential to become an all-star. I think that Trey Murphy is the perfect complement to Zion Williamson because of his spacing and his athleticism. With Zion off the court, Trey Murphy could be the first option, but Zion on the court, you got Trey Murphy who can spot up from anywhere, stroke that thing, stroke it. That's what they call him, the real stroker. I already said future pause, so whatever. But he is the real stroker, man. Shout out to Trigger Trey Murphy.
Like, he averaged 20 points last season.
Dude, he took a leap. And
Bro, he's
nobody
only gotten better. Like he's
only go
oh
check
my
out some highlights. Dude is an athletic freak. And he, like I said, man, he really compliments Zion. Now, I don't know how many games Zion will be available, but there was actually a game last year where he wasn't available and he dropped 40 on the Celtics. He, dude's nice. Upgraded his handle. He's got that ball on a string now. Dude, check him out when you get any
they
time.
should if I'm New Orleans, I'm building around him.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm just
there's definitely a future, that could happen for sure. He's that talented. He's that guy. Watch out. Future All-Star. The real stroker. Tell him, what is he? What is
no,
he?
no,
What is he?
no, no. I'm not calling him that. I'm not calling him that. I'm
Okay.
not calling him no. I'm doing
Well, do your due diligence at least and go check out some highlights. On a bad Pelicans team, he was like one of the only bright spots.
it. My next pick, I don't know if he was the All-Star last year. You probably gotta help me out with this. Sengun. Um,
He was.
well, if that's the case, man, we could be looking at somebody battling with Jokic as a big, man. Like, now he doesn't have the upside of like the facilitating upside, but the ability to shoot the three a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. But I mean, averaging almost 20 points and 10 rebounds, a double double. Um, with them losing Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, he's gonna get a lot more touches. I think so. I seen it. We got close to the end of the year. They started giving him the ball a lot more, just letting him work the post, the mid range. He was pretty good there. Don't be surprised, man. Maybe 25 points, still maybe 11, 12 rebounds. I have high hopes for Sengun. I'm a Sengun Glazer, to be honest. Pause. But I have a lot of
He,
hope in Sengun.
he's not the real stroker though. But
Dude,
I
I'm
really
not
like
calling nobody a stroker. I'm not calling
Seeing's the
nobody a
offensive
stroker.
hub, bro. Like, especially with the addition of KD, who gives you like a constant offensive spacer, like who you can constantly rely on. You're right, dude. Sengun's also only 22. Like, it feels like he's been in the league for a while, but he's only 22. He's only going to get better. I could easily see him being all NBA third or all NBA second team. Um, yeah, I really agree with you,
Same
man.
thing for Derek Lively. He's only 22 as well, I believe. Or though I think he's
Yeah.
might be 21. And these guys are young, but they've been in the league for years, basically. So,
I don't think Derek Live's the on the same caliber as
oh no, no, no,
Şengün.
no, 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 no,
Okay,
bro.
just make sure that's clear. But yeah, I like
No.
the Şengün pick, especially with the a couple of additions that the Rockets made, kind of help with the spacing because they're a pretty bad 3-point shooting team, and giving him space on that block, huh, ooh, hit him with a little shimmy. He's not the biggest center, but like he's pretty nice, agile, a little
Yeah.
bit of bunnies, dunked on Draymond, like that pick. So now this one might be a little controversial because with this team, with the loss of Halliburton, with the loss of Turner, a lot of people seem to think that Nembhard is going to be the best, going to have the best season. I personally think Benedict Mathurin has the most to gain from these injuries and the
I
departure of
knew it
Miles
was
Turner.
coming. I knew it was coming, bro.
I really like Benedict Mathurin as a player. I mean, he came off the bench last year. I assume he'll be starting this year, but he's a downhill attacker. And if he can just kind of get some consistency in his 3-point shooting, I think that he has a lot of potential and could gain a lot from this quote unquote down year from the Pacers. Um, yeah. I also think that I'm not saying he is Anthony Edwards, but the intensity and the tenacity that he plays with almost reminds me a little bit of Ant Edwards. Like I heard a story the other day, at Podcast P with Paul George. VJ Escombe had was playing on against Benedict Mathurin. Mathurin comes up to him and just tells him nothing. He just says, "I'm gonna bust your ass in the league." That's kind of like that dog mentality that I feel like you need to have to be a successful player in this league. I expect a leap from him this season. Not saying he's going to be an all-star, but I expect him to be the primary scorer of this Pacers team.
Going to something there. He's a certified bucket. He's a bucket getter, bro.
He is, and he'll play some solid defense too. That dog, for sure. Not a real stroker though, but
Um,
whatever.
you think he'll be a starter this year, or
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure it'd probably be Nimhard, Neesmith, Mathurin, Pascal, and whatever they're doing at center. Yeah, I think he'll start.
all right, Matherin? We'll be looking out for you, bro.
He's poised for breakout year. And I'm not saying that Nimhar is not going to improve because he is. He has a clear runway now,
Yeah.
and I think he's still going to improve. But I think that Matherin will improve more because I see Nimhar more as he's a bucket for sure, but I see Nimhar more of kind of like a facilitator as well as a scorer. But I see Benedict Mathurin as purely a scorer. So somebody's gonna make up for all those points from Miles Turner and Halliburton.
I did have a question about that though. So hypothetically, let's say Mathurin and Nimhart, they have good seasons. Let's say,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say great, but let's say they both average around 20 points. Maybe one might get 25 points per game. What happens then? One of them's gonna want to get paid, you know. What happens then for the team? You kind of already had a team built with Miles Turner. I know he left, but when Tyrese comes back the year after next, or whenever he comes back, what do you do? Like, how do you like go about that, seeing that you got two guys who, like I said, hypothetically, they both average north of 20, right?
Mhm.
Do you pay them? Do you let them go? Like,
You
do you
know, that's a
just,
really good question. That's a really good question. I think that on a team that was not led by Tyrese Halliburton, that had a score first point guard, I think that there would be an issue because once you become that, I guess that guy.
oh no, 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 oh no. Chad, I think it lagged. We might be cooked. Can I like,
Sorry about that, y'all. Had some te technical difficulties on my end, but I'm gonna pick up back up where we were. Hump mentioned what happens if Andrew Nemhar and Benedict Mathurin have career years. What happens in terms of contracts and Tyrese coming back? So what I was saying is basically on a team that wasn't the Pacers, that wasn't led by Tyrese. Once you're that guy, you want to be that guy forever. Like Luca and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was that guy, and he didn't want to come back. I guess because the other things like contracts, but once you're that guy, you don't want to become second fiddle anymore. But the pro of having Tyrese Halliburton is that guy, but he doesn't need to score to be that guy. He can facilitate, he can um, score as well. Or you could look at it from that aspect, or you could look at it of whoever you want to move. I could see possibly moving a Benedict Mathurin for a solid center and a role player like a Jared Allen and maybe DeAndre Hunter to get that center backup that you lost. But I think that they're in a good spot for the future. I know it's probably tough for Pacers fans coming off a finals berth and 7 game final series to kind of have these injuries and the loss of Miles Turner, but I think that this year you really see what you have in these two players. That was definitely a great question.
yeah. So, like I said, I think the best thing for them to do is keep Tyrese Halliburton,
Mhm.
but get some above average bucket getters.
Yeah,
I say maybe get another facilitator uh, someone like Derek White. It doesn't have to be Derek White, but somebody who can go out there, facilitate, get the ball moving. Somebody like Tyrese Halliburton to come off the bench, but get some guys who can get the ball in the hoop. That's it. That's really it.
yeah,
And just let Tyrese Halliburton go to work, move guys around the court, move fast pace, great fast paced offense on the transition. I think they can make it work and be a top 3 to 5 seed for years. So
yeah.
yeah. So my last pick, I got. You have to help me with his last name, man. Brandon.
Pajinski?
Yeah, for the
Okay, big
Warriors.
pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him kind of. I want to say Klay Thompson role, and not even a Jordan Poole role, more of a, I would say a Steph Curry role almost because he's about around the same height, but he plays like a two guard in some sense. He doesn't play like a point guard. He's not afraid to get down low and get a finish at the rim. He's not afraid to shoot from deep, pause. But I think if they again with minutes, they give him more minutes. I say let him touch 30 minutes if that's possible. He could make a good leap. He's already averaging 11 points, 5 rebounds. 5 rebounds being 6'4", that's pretty good. I know a lot of guys are 6'10", 6'11", who not even getting 3 rebounds, bro. So we could see something there.
He's
I
a
have some
winner.
faith in him. He is a
He's a
winner.
winner.
He's a
Like
dog.
you mentioned, the rebounds, just kind of casually watching the Warriors, not really being the most in tap with them. He draws a lot of charges. He knows where to be. He knows when to be there. He offers some spacing as well. And you mentioned him as a two guard, but I still feel like he can make the right play. He's a winner for sure. And I think that he can take that step. And I could also see him probably playing a little bit of point guard role with Steph Curry out there, because I mean he'd make the right play. He'd make the right play to get him the ball, or he could go downhill, draw a foul, space out. But I like the Brandon Pajinski pick. He's kind of under the radar, but yeah, he's a winner for sure.
He reminds me of like a more all around balanced
Hmm.
AI. Being short but
Right.
can facilitate. AI wasn't the best defender, but he can hold his own a little bit. So, so he's a very all around short guard, very glue guy. I would let him date my daughter.
Uh, yeah,
First
he
guy
reminds me a little bit
in,
of.
last guy to leave.
That's right. He reminds me a little bit of Kyle Lowry.
Kyle
Whenever
Lowry.
Kyle Lowry, yeah, whenever he was with the Raptors, he drew a lot of charges. He shoot the ball well. You already know how I feel about that Raptors team, but I'm not saying he's on the level of Kyle Lowry whenever he was on the Raptors, but I see some similarities to Kyle Lowry for sure.
I had to do my research on them, bro. But they
On the
were
Raptors,
dogs. They were dogs that next season.
I don't miss,
I
man.
mean,
I don't miss often.
they might have went back to back. They might
Okay.
have went back to back and they might have won. It's
Now
crazy.
check out the real Stroka highlights after this.
I'm not looking at no stroke of highlights, bro. What are we talking about?
Trey Murphy then. I won't call him a stroker anymore, but check out maybe like a Trey Murphy compliment. Oh, for hope it's that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year. Fantasy football season is right around the corner. Our
Yes,
draft is
sir.
soon. I'd like to get it maybe next week, but it is time. I want to hear the best player from each position, or you can just give me, oh, never mind. Best player from each position, disregarding defense and kicker. Because I mean, those are solid, but those are kind of hit or miss, you know?
Um, I'll just try to list mine off as quick and then just give an explanation for them all. Number one,
Yeah,
uh, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase. Um, I would have went Justin Jefferson, but I don't know how I feel about JJ McCarthy yet. Um, I gotta see him in another preseason game just to kind of
yeah,
get the feel for it again and see how he is after that injury. So right now, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase, even though they did bring in Noah Fant, and of course T. Higgins is back. He's paid, so you know, he's got the motive to, I'm paid now, I can play. Joe
yeah.
Burrow, revenge season, I guess. So he's gonna be the wide receiver one for me. The running back, I'm gonna go with hot take, hot take, Josh Jacobs. And hear me out. Hear me out. The biggest thing for the Packers all offseason was they don't have any wide receivers. Until they can find a wide receiver one, they're going to be relying on Josh Jacobs in the pass game and in the run game. Don't be surprised if you see Josh Jacobs with north of 600 to 700 receiving yards. I could see it happening. They're going to use him like a workhorse. So I got him as my one. It's crazy. Over Barkley, Bijan, yes, I know, but he doesn't really have any competition, not even at receiver. I don't see any competition. Um, tight end, it's tough for me to say this, but Brock Bowers, bro. Not Travis Kelce, Brock Bowers. Um, yeah, man, Brock Bowers, bro. He cool, man. He
So let
cool,
me ask you
man.
a question. Do you think that, oh man, I'm really close to the camera. Do you think that Geno Smith helps Brock Bowers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a very he's not Geno's not a great quarterback, but he's a very serviceable quarterback. And he's not Dak Prescott levels. He's just he can get the ball in the right spot. He does have a big turnover problem I see sometimes, but when it comes to making the right plays, Geno can do that. And I Brock Bowers is one of those guys to where he's kind of like Travis Kelce a bit to where just get him the ball and let him do the rest of the work. That's all he has to do. You can throw it to him 5 yards, he'll go make 20, 30 yards. So I think, and then with the addition of Ashton Genty, I think teams are gonna actually start keying in on Genty more than Brock Bowers, which is crazy. But I see that happening now with the we're going back to a run heavy, I won't say run heavy league, but a run focused league now.
yeah,
I'm starting to see that. A lot of teams are going two running backs. They're starting to go bigger running backs. They're starting to, some teams doing the, you know, flex type of running backs. So he might go for another 1K. He might
another
even
one.
touch 1,400, bro. I don't know. I don't
He
like
seems to
that
be the
though.
only. I'm not discounting what Ashton Genty can do, but I've yet to see it. So he's probably the number one option on that Raiders offense.
Brock
No,
Bowers?
yeah, no discredit to
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers or Ashton Genty, like I said. But yeah, I think he's going to be the number one option, and I think for the Raiders to be successful, they have to find creative ways to get Brock Bowers the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
About
agree.
quarterback, who do you think has a
Quarterback,
potential to be QB1?
um, I'm gonna be honest. Before last week, it was Jaden Daniels, but now it's
Hmm.
probably gonna be Lamar Jackson
Yeah,
again. So with Jaden Daniels, it was Jaden Daniel has the accuracy upside, he has the passing upside, all the passing upside, but he runs just as good as Lamar Jackson. So when you lose a guy like Terry, it's kind of like the same thing, the same problem I had with Joe Burrow. We haven't seen Jaden Daniels play pretty good without good wide receivers. At LSU, he played with Malik Neighbors, BTJ, um, Mason Taylor, and then he automatically gets a wide receiver one who was, in my opinion, a top 10 wide receiver. I've always said it about Terry. He just needed a good QB. But when you lose a guy like that, and I'm gonna say it, I think he might not play. I think Terry might hold out. Like he seriously might sit the season out. I see it happening. So if Terry doesn't play, Lamar Jackson goes back to number one. That's pretty easy. But don't be surprised about Josh Allen. Don't be
yeah,
surprised, man. Uh, because of James Cook, uh, he might be another guy who might hold out and might not play. Because he's doing something totally weird. Like he's showing up, but he's not practicing, but he has on pads.
yeah.
Or he'll go to practice, he'll do some reps, and then just stop. So that's kind of weird there. So we don't know what guys like. Like I said, just keep an eye out for Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. We'll see. But for now, I'm taking a safe pick, going Lamar Jackson.
Okay. To kind of piggyback off what you're saying. I think the quarterback one would probably be Josh Allen. I mean, I could see the argument for Lamar Jackson or possibly even Jaden Daniels, but just the rushing upside. I mean, 4th and 1, you ain't gonna give the ball to running. You're not gonna give the ball to running back. You're gonna have Josh Allen under center probably QB sweep. I'm sorry, tush push. He can get you a couple yards on the ground too. I just, yeah, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, especially in terms of fantasy football quarterbacks, that's who you want on your team. You want a quarterback with rushing upside and who can also be dynamic throwing the ball as well. I do kind of question his weapons a little bit. Am a Keon Coleman believer, but I know they lost Amari
Stay
Cooper.
healthy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got bro, what is that dude's name? Who's low-key the wide receiver one for a while? Shakir.
Shakir,
Yeah.
Yak, the Yak man right there, man.
Got two nice tight ends too. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Yeah. I think Josh Allen is the quarterback one, and he's lived up to that the past few seasons. Now, I'm gonna go into my running back. I know you had a hot take, and I'd consider mine hot as well, but not as warm. Like I'd probably consider mine like maybe like a summer Missouri heat. I'd probably consider yours maybe like a Louisiana summer heat. Yeah, you're just pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Pause. But I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey. Uh, he was hurt last year. I get it. I understand the injuries. But dude, oh my gosh, he is a monster. He is a monster. He's got a nice offensive line. Trent Williams. Um, and in order for that 49ers team to be dynamic, they have to get the run going so they can set up the play action pass because I don't think that Brock Purdy is a quarterback who thrives without the run. Like, if we're talking like 7-on-7 ball, I don't think Brock Purdy, essentially, Brock Purdy's a casual, really. He's just got so much around him. And I think that Christian McCaffrey is the guy that will take this 49ers team. Yeah.
Even with
Wide
injuries,
receiver.
man.
Dude, injuries are so tough because I feel like he plays every other year.
That is true.
You know what I mean? He played this year, plays every year, and whenever he's so bad, man, he's a lock for a touch a game. Crazy fantasy monster, y'all, especially. But yeah, I'm going with Chris McCaffrey. Wide receiver, you said it best, man. I would want to go Justin Jefferson. Just I think Justin Jefferson is a better receiver than Jamar Chase, but his quarterback is just really unstable, unproven, really. So I'm going Jamar Chase as well. You know what you get out of the Joe Burrow Jamar Chase connection, regardless of the other weapons around. This is a consistent 5 catches, 80 yards a game consistently. And tight end as well. I also went with Brock Bowers. Not saying I think Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the league, but he's probably the best receiving tight end in my eyes currently. Yeah. So now I'm going to give a little advice. Hopefully nobody in our fantasy league is watching this. But if I was a fantasy manager, I would invest most in Nick Chubb.
Dude,
I would invest in Nick Chubb, man. Injuries, whatever. Joe Mixon's out for the first, I don't know how long. He's out for a substantial amount of time. And they signed Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is just give him the rock, dude. He's the quiet Leonard of football. No drama, no nothing. Strictly yards. Love Nick Chubb. No, strictly business. I think that with everything that's going on with Joe Mixon, pick up Nick Chubb. Probably get him in the later rounds as well. Do you have anybody that you would kind of invest most in?
um, yeah, actually, we talked about him a little bit. Dalton Kincaid.
Okay.
I think I don't want to glaze my Chiefs here, but I think the Buffalo Bills are gonna kind of try to do what the Chiefs do, which is play an unorthodox way of football, and that is relying on their tight end, just a bigger guy, could just you have a quarterback who's really mobile. You can have a guy like Dalton Kincaid who can snap of fingers, he can turn around and block. Snap of fingers, he can turn around and run a route. You have a guy like Josh Allen who any given moment can put the ball anywhere. I mean, one of the best arms in the league, gets the ball there quick. So he's somebody I would invest in. And right under him is David Njoku. I mean, he is a top tight end, but I think this is more on the fact that I think Shador Sanders might be the starter long term this season. I think that he's going to rely on short passes. I mean, if you're in a PPR league, David Njoku might be one or two for tight ends because I think he's going to get a lot of catches, a lot of dump offs for rookie quarterbacks. So those are two guys I'm very high on right now. I would invest in, you know,
Okay.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay. Now, do not buy. Do not draft these players in any league. And this one for me is kind of broad. Do not draft any culture receivers.
Not
I
even
understand
Tyler
Michael
Warren.
Pittman, not even Tyler Warren. Just the quarterback situation. I don't know if you saw, but the depth chart listed it was Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson as the quarterback one. It wasn't one. That was literally the listing on the depth chart. And I think this team has always had a pretty solid offensive line. Quentin Nelson, a couple other guys. But I think that this team's going to be a very run heavy team. And I just don't think you're going to get consistent production out of any Colts receiver. So yeah, that's my do not buy. It's the Colts receivers.
Okay, okay. Um, do not buy have is a quarterback, and that is Justin Herbert. Be honest, man. I don't care what anybody says about Harbaugh being when he gets a certain player, it continue to get better. Harbaugh is showing us right in front of our eyes that he does not truly plan to throw the ball. He wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball. You have two running backs. You got a good stable, kind of like a Derrick Henry type of running back, and then you go and get a Marion Hampton, who I thought was, in my opinion, better than Ashton Genty. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He didn't play. He didn't. He played in the ACC. That's all I'm saying. So um, I think they're gonna run the ball a lot more, and I think that covered up the flaws of Justin Herbert. When people will say,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, he didn't throw a lot of picks in the regular season, but then he goes and throws four
Doesn't
picks in the
matter.
playoffs."
Doesn't
You
matter.
know, what do you mean it doesn't matter?
Like no, like it doesn't matter. Like sure,
Oh,
you had a good
yeah,
regular season, like postseason, that's when it matters.
right. So like he has a lot of flaws that people aren't going to talk about, and I think he's really high on a lot of people's boards for no reason, man. I think you should stay away from him. Stay away from
Yeah.
him. Please stay away from him. And to piggyback off of what you said, man, um, Colts wide receivers, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Please, y'all. If y'all take
Don't
anything
touch them.
from us, do not touch them. Please. I don't care how you feel. Do not touch them. Please don't touch them. Say no. No means no. No means no. Oh, and one more. Say no to Kyle Pitts. Please, we're not falling for the Kyle Pitts propaganda anymore. I'm not. Because I almost did it this offseason. I was thinking about it. I was like, I might go for Kyle Pitts. I like Michael Penix really well. I might go for no. We're not falling for that. We're not falling for that. No, I'm not falling
Dude,
for that.
I've seen reports coming out of camp talking about how Kyle Pitts is Michael Penix's favorite target. I don't want to buy him, but I don't know.
You know who's over him right now in rankings? Tucker Craft. Tucker
For
Craft
the
is higher than
Packers?
Yes,
Wow, that is
I have him
interesting.
rated higher than Kyle Pitts, bro.
That is interesting. But if he's that low, dude, if he's lower than Tucker Craft, it might be worth the risk. Like if I'm getting Kyle Pitts in a ninth, 10th round as a backup tight
Yeah,
end,
but he shouldn't be your first option as a tight end
okay,
at
I
all,
respect.
man.
I respect that. To piggyback off what you said, team power rankings, we're gonna get a list out here one of these days when we finish up the power rankings. But yeah, I think last week we left off. Oh, where are we at? I think 18. You said 18, right? 18 or 16.
Yeah,
Okay,
18.
so I'm
Yeah.
gonna start it off. The team. I'm going with the Falcons. I think that we didn't see much like Michael Penix last year. I'm not taking away anything from the games that we did see him play because he was phenomenal, especially the Sunday night game against the Commanders. Specifically sticks out to me.
Totally.
And they have a solid skill positions as well. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, who I think Drake London's a bit overrated in my opinion. He's a 92-1 in Madden. I think he's a bit overrated. Kyle Pitts breakout year? Not
No.
likely. Not likely. But I could see this team contending for a wild card spot. I mean, I'm not in love with them, but I just haven't seen much of quarterback play. What's going on with Kirk Cousins as well? You know, it had two first round picks this year. I don't remember who they spent them on, but I think they got better on defensive side of the ball. But
Yeah, that's
yeah, just a solid team. Wild card contender for sure.
okay. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Uh, I don't know if I talked about them or not, but the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if I did, but
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Okay, good. So I got the Minnesota Vikings. They would be a lot higher. Like I said, I need to see more from JJ McCarthy. I need to see him in real live against the ones. Everybody's best players healthy. I need to see him like that. He's a guy who, in my opinion, is a victim of Harbaugh. Again, Harbaugh is a run heavy coach, but when I seen him play at Michigan, he was pretty accurate. When I seen him in the national championship game, he was pretty accurate. But the NFL's different. It's a lot faster. These guys are a lot more skilled. You're playing in a division with, I think, some pretty good defenses. The Lions defense, they're gonna be iffy this year, but they got some pretty good secondaries. He's got to go up against guys like Kirby Joseph. Um,
Yeah.
what's the other guy for the Lions
Arnold.
who they
I
draft?
know they got Arnold.
Aaron Arnold. Yeah. He's got to go up against
Xavier
Johnson
McKinney
for
for
Xavier
the
McKinney.
Bears. Xavier McKinney.
Yeah. What's the other one? Johnson
Yeah, Jalen
for the
Johnson
Bears
for
as
the
well.
Bears.
Jalen
Yeah,
Johnson. Yeah.
solid.
So he's got to go up against a lot of guys who's gonna they're gonna test him. They're gonna throw a lot of zones at him. So I just have to see how he does. But with them having Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson and um Aaron Jones coming back, a pretty decent O line. Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell is he's making that push to be in the upper echelon with guys like Sean McVay, Andy Reid. I'm gonna say it, Nick Sirianni. He's making that push. I think this year he could move into that scheme worthy coach to where it doesn't matter who my offensive coordinator is, it doesn't matter who my QB is. I'm still going to win football games.
Yeah,
So we could see a lot of improvement from them this year. Like I said, just I have a lot of hope for JJ McCarthy. It's just I
yeah.
gotta see it. I really gotta see it.
That makes sense. Like you just don't know. You mentioned all those receivers. Frankly, I don't think any of them can effectively guard, shut down, I should say, Justin Jefferson or Hawkinson or even Addison. I know Addison's suspended, but still, they got weapons on that team. But yeah, it just you haven't seen it before, so completely agree to be skeptical on them. But my next team is probably lower than most. I'm going with the Texans. Saw a sophomore slump, real regression from CJ Stroud. Now, I don't think he's a bad quarterback by any means, but I think that last year what we saw from him was kind of disappointing, especially after such a strong rookie season where he barely threw any interceptions or anything like that. Um, like I mentioned earlier, they brought in Nick Chubb, who's going to be, when healthy, I think he's a really solid third down, short yardage back who can just power way through it. They brought in Gardner Johnson too. I think he's a solid player, but I feel like he might bring a little bit more drama to the team than needed. I got Nico Collins, really like him. I know Tank Dell's out for a while. I think they pick up the receiver in a draft, but
I
yeah, the
forgot his name, but
Texans,
I'm really high on him.
yeah, and I think that they'll win a division ultimately, just because it's a really weak division. But I don't know if I can see them getting out of the wild card round. So yeah, similar to the Falcons, I think this is a wild card contender. I say the floor of this team is the not making it to the playoffs, but the ceiling is probably a second round exit. Yeah,
Kind of on the same wavelength here. I like that, man. I had the Texans,
yeah,
but I wasn't disappointed in CJ Stroud because when I sat back and watched the games, I actually got sat and watched them. I realized his O line, he played as if his O line wasn't like he played like he didn't understand his O line was bad. That's how he
yeah,
played. He played with the same amount of confidence, but he's not aware that you don't have an O line and these guys are trying to basically kill you. So he's throwing the ball with the same amount of confidence he had his rookie year, and that's good. That is very good. But he's his pocket presence isn't great. That's really all it is. He doesn't understand his O line is bad. Like everyone knows it's bad. He's the only one who really doesn't understand that until they get in his face, and then he makes the errors. So when
yeah,
he understands, kind of like Patrick Mahomes a little bit. You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes esque, but understand that you have to protect yourself and protect the football, and you have to move the football down the field. You have guys like Nico Collins, who I also think he's a victim of a guy like Nico Collins, to where he knows he can just throw it up and Nico's going to catch it.
yeah,
And they got the guy that I like a lot, who I liked in the draft, Jaden Higgins. I'm very high on Jaden Higgins, man. He can do a lot of things right. So another big receiver like that, to where he can just throw it down there and just they're gonna catch it. So I just think that he needs to be more self-aware in the pocket. Once he does that, I think he'd be pushing for top 10 QB, maybe top six, top seven.
yeah.
So they'll be back in the playoffs for sure. I don't know. I don't know
Question,
if they're gonna win a division though. I don't know.
yeah. Where's Jaden Higgins out of? What school?
Iowa?
Iowa?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's usually a tight end school. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Wait,
I
is it
bet he can
Iowa?
block. I
Or
bet he
is it
can
Iowa
block.
State?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might be Iowa State.
You got it. Cool. I'm I'm gonna bounce on to my next team and work with the Broncos, man. There's a lot of random Broncos fans in Louisiana. Shout out to
Weird.
Simmons. Simmons is a Broncos
He's a
fan.
Broncos fan?
He's a Broncos fan.
Wow.
Uh, I mean, I think last year you saw the progression of Bo Nix in a tough division. I would definitely say he got better each and every week. Even took his Broncos team to the playoffs. Um, got Pat Surtain, best corner in the game. Sean Payton, upper echelon of coaches as well. Kind of little question marks about the receiver room. They have Cortland Sutton for sure, but I don't really know what else they have going on. They don't have a lot of big name players on the Broncos, not at all. But
Okay.
I can't not put them this high after what they showed last year with not even having that much. I might be wrong on this. I know you watch a lot more Broncos games than I do, but they have a pretty solid defense, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, that D line,
Yeah,
that is something else.
but yeah, that's really all I got to say about the Broncos. I'm not don't know too much, but shout out to Simmons.
My guy Simmons, man. Um, before I get to my pick, I did want to talk about the Broncos, man. Another team that's like a very hungry team, man. This, like I said, they
Yeah,
don't have a lot of names, but they picked up some guys. Dre Greenlaw, they picked him up.
yeah,
Um, they got somebody out of the draft. Oh man, I can't think of his name. They got Hufanga at safety.
yeah.
So, um, Nick Bonito, that's the guy.
Is it the
Nick
linebacker?
Bonito, man. Yes. Um, when I tell you, I have nightmares about what he did to Patrick Mahomes in that doink game, bro, with the missed field goal.
Yeah,
That man haunts me now, bro. There is no reason the guy should be that fast at 240. He was
yeah,
moving, and people don't really see it. He was moving, man. This D line is hungry. And they picked up Savion Jones from LSU. They picked him up.
yeah,
Another pretty good defensive end. Um, Bo Nix. I think Sean Payton's seeing a little bit of Drew Brees and Bo Nix. Just a tad bit more pep in his step. So
yeah.
for the fantasy guys, he might be a sleeper. I'm just saying he might be a sleeper, allegedly. I'm not gonna tell you how to pick. All I know is he's on my board for sure. And I don't like him, but he's on
Who do
my
they
board for
have at receiver? Like in
uh
at the skill position players?
Cortland Sutton,
Yeah.
Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, A.T. Perry,
Oh, Saints legend. Evan
um,
Ingram,
Evan Ingram, yep.
J.K.
Adam
Dobbins.
Trautman. They do
Trotman's a
have
bum.
J.K. Dobbins. R.J. Harvey, the guy from UCF, pretty good.
Big
Audric
nuts.
S.
They have my favorite
What?
kicker ever. Big nuts Lutz. Will Lutz, dude. In the Saints heyday, he was automatic.
Oh, that's the guy who
Automatic.
missed the kick. Yeah,
He didn't miss a kick. Oh, you're talking about the Chiefs game. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I almost forgot. They got Jade Barron from Texas. That's
Not
who
a
I was thinking of.
yeah,
Pretty solid. So team stacked. I don't think they're going to win a division, but
yeah.
11 wins maybe, maybe 11.
Okay.
They're due for a 10-win season.
Oh,
Um, my next pick, I'm going to go with the Rams. Um, I think this is Matt Stafford's last year. This like wholeheartedly might be the year. With that being said, I think they played the draft a little bit wrong by not getting QB. I think they might have gotten a QB, but they didn't get a QB who can, actually make some plays. I would have loved for them to get Jalen Milroe to
yeah.
be with Sean McVay. I think he would be great under Sean McVay, great under Matt Stafford to let him sit the whole season and watch. Um, you got Puka Nakua, you got Devontae Adams, so you're back in that system of two good to great wide receivers. Um, and then you just paid Kyron Lacy. So this is a very motivated team. They're my pick to win the West. So I'm and that one guy, Aaron Donald 2.0, man. I can't think of his
Jared
name off the top
Verse.
of my head. Yes,
Verse.
man.
He's
He's
a
a
dog.
dog. He is a dog, man. So defense, a couple of question marks, but I think they might need a few more linebackers here and there. But I think this offense is top five, top 10 in that range.
Definitely have the
So
weapons for sure.
100%. Don't count out Sean McVay, man. He is
Can
something else,
never.
man.
Can never.
Something else.
Sticking in LA, I'm rocking with the Chargers. Uh, you mentioned earlier, Justin Herbert is in my opinion, is a top 10 regular season quarterback. But does that really matter? You don't you don't make the big bucks for doing good in regular season. I guess, well, look at Dak Prescott, might be a different story. A lot of solid defense. They lost Nick Bosa. They still have Khalil Mack. I don't know if I don't think they still have Asante Samuel. A couple of
Yeah,
receiver
they
room
do.
questions.
Yeah.
They got Latin McConkey breakout year this year. Quentin Johnson. Is it time? Is it time to give up on Quentin Johnson? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I put them over the Broncos just because, screw it. Just because they're uniforms. I'm putting them above the Broncos. Best uniforms in the game. Best uniforms in the game, hands down. The
Over
Chargers.
Seattle?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Best
Okay.
uniforms in the game, hands down.
Oh,
But I, I think it's probably the most competitive the AFC West has been in a while. You know, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs all got better. I mean, with the exception of the Chiefs, who are already one of the best teams in the NFL, but all the other teams are competing. I possibly could see all four of those teams in contention for the playoffs. Like, obviously, the Chiefs are going to win a division. I could see the Broncos and the Chargers slipping into a wild card spot and the Raiders competing for one. So I think that that is a possibility for that whole division to have some type of competition to make the playoffs. Tough division.
very tough. I still see where you're going with that. I think the Raiders might go for 7, 8 wins,
Yeah.
but I see Broncos and Chargers, they're fighting for 10 wins. They're like battling it out. It's like trying to think of a good match of like some fighters. It's like a Super Cena versus Undertaker in the early, like the Undertaker from SmackDown. He would always have to fight somebody because of Teddy Long. It's like a good bout, man. It's like they're fighting for that 10th win, 11th win, whichever it is. So it's crazy to me because for the longest, these teams they would just lay down and die. For the longest, they
Hmm.
were laying down and just dying. They weren't making any push. They were just, we'll get lucky if we get 5 wins. We'll get lucky if we get 7 wins. We'll take that. But a lot of times, especially the Raiders and the Broncos, they were just okay with getting 2, 3 wins because they were so stuck on trying to get higher picks. And now, man, I think they're saying enough's enough. We're gonna push. It's time we make the playoffs. Mahomes looks vulnerable. Travis Kelce's getting older. Are we gonna take the chance on building a good run game? Maybe Chris Jones is getting a little older. Andy Reid, he's almost out of here. So they're sensing blood now. They're tasting it. So it's scary. It's really scary out here, man. They ain't beating no Chiefs though. They ain't beating no Chiefs.
Not this year. Not this year.
Never, never, never.
Who's your next team, man?
Um, I have the I have the San Francisco 49ers. Uh, Brock Purdy, you're on the hot seat, man. You're on the hot seat. I'm not falling for that. He needs a team around him. Although I am one of those, I have a lot of empathy for quarterbacks like him, but you got to make the playoffs, man. You got to make the playoffs. Missing the playoffs can never excuse it. I truly can never excuse missing the playoffs. I never could, man. I won't do it with Joe Burrow, and I'm not gonna do it with Brock Purdy. You have to make the playoffs. I don't care who your weapons are. If you want to prove that you are the highest paid, you're one of the highest paid QBs for a reason, man. You gotta make the playoffs. So I think they're gonna be a wild card team. Like I said, don't have them winning the division. The reason they're over the Rams is because of the roster a little bit, but I think they're not gonna win a division. So who knows, man? This entire this set of teams here are so interchangeable. You can put them anywhere. It's just like an any given day type of thing. So
Yeah.
right now, 49ers they are above the Rams. I do have the Rams somehow pulling it out, but things may click. You got Trent Williams, you got Christian McCaffrey, got Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall. He was pretty good, you know. That's 50 Cent right there. Well, let's
Shit,
say
yeah.
that's 25 Cent, you know. He survived them shots, bro. So
Shout out to him, man. It's a real player right there.
indeed.
Finally, for my last team, I'm gonna wrap it up with the Packers. I might be higher on Jordan Love than most, but I kind of alluded to this a little bit last episode. Though also Jair Hurts. You have a solid, one of the best cities in the league in Xavier McKinney, but that 1-2 punch, having a lockdown corner like Jair, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do Justin Jefferson like Jair has. Pause. But I think that's a big loss as well. Once again, receivers questions marks. I mean, I'm basically hitting the same stone twice, really. Sure, always have a pretty solid offensive line. Josh Jacobs, lead. I think the play like last year, once again, I'd probably bring up floor and ceiling. I'd say floor is a wild card exit, ceiling, NFC Championship, ceiling. Who knows? Maybe they catch the right team at the right time with injuries. But I could see them possibly making it to NFC Championship. Maybe they catch a decimated injury team. Like if you think about the past couple of years, the 49ers play the Eagles, and the 49ers were just what they have? Who they have playing quarterback? They were down to like their fourth string quarterback, and Christian McCaffrey was out. And sometimes you just catch the right team at the right time. So that's why I have their ceiling being the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Okay. My last team, I'm going to go with the Commanders. Guys, I want you to know this is a right now thing. This is with what's going on now. Um, with Terry holding out, they're gonna be this low for now. For now. Um, like I said before, man, Terry was a huge role for this team. He was for the longest the only thing the Commanders had. And now that you're losing him, you're you're setting your QB up to fail, kind of, by not paying him. Now I know, you might not have the money to pay him the way he wants to be paid, because he's proven he's a top 10 receiver. Top five, I don't know, but he's proven that he should be getting paid. But if I'm thinking correctly, the way he wants to be paid, I don't think he wants to be on that CD or Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson level. He wants to be a little under that. But the thing is, a little under that is a lot. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like the Commanders are thinking of this as they might have like caught lightning in a bottle almost, because they're not used to winning.
Yeah.
It's been a while since they've won. And when you go back and you watch these games, you hear how people talk about it. A lot of the games they won, when they talk about the Chiefs, a lot of the games they won were off of game-winning drives by Jaden Daniels. I mean, Jaden Daniels was like right under Mahomes with the most game-winning drives. So you got to take that into account by being we've never truly won, and we've made it all the way to the championship game. It's almost like the Raptors, right? The Raptors. Lions were injured. Mistakes were made by the Bucks, and then, but
Yeah.
they faced a healthy team. By the way, this is what happens when you face a healthy team. You face a healthy team, and then you get blown out. Pause, and you make a lot of mistakes. So I just think they're seeing it as they might have caught lightning in a bottle, and they don't want to take the chance again by putting all their eggs in one basket with Terry. And I think he has to understand that a little bit. So with him not being paid, they're gonna be low. I see him holding out. Um, Terry, get your money, man. I know you're a big fan of the pod. Um, we love you over here, but say they get your money, do what you got to do.
Yeah. You mentioned the kind of drives and everything. That makes me think about the Hail Mary against the Bears. Like you said, that is the definition of lightning in a bottle right there.
I
Yeah.
think that was the most pivotal moment of the season for both teams. Whoever would
Yeah.
have won that game was making the playoffs 100%. That's how I see it.
Because
That's
the Bears were
exactly how I
rolling
see it.
before that.
They were
Yeah.
rolling. And Caleb Williams, he was not throwing picks. So,
So let me ask you a question about the Commanders. Hypothetically, if Terry comes back,
mhm.
signs his deal, the fence is bridged, what how do you see Debo Samuel impacting his production?
Oh, I totally forgot about he was there. Um, I don't know if I've told you before, but Debo Samuels, you should never have to worry about him with another receiver like Terry. Terry
Yeah,
he gets a lot of usage. So if you're worried about a guy like Debo taking your reps, taking your catches, you don't got to worry about that. Debo is a football player. It may sound weird, but he is a kind of like you in high school. You could play quarterback, you could play receiver, you could play linebacker, you could play corner, you could play safety. That's basically Debo just on offense. He can play receiver, he can play running back. If he wanted to play tight end, he probably could. He can block, he can do it all. He's a bona fide football player to the point to where if you're so worried about a player being mad about not getting a lot of catches, you can easily put him in the backfield, let him run out the backfield, play that flex position, kind of like Christian McCaffrey. So
yeah.
I think all it's really going to do is it's going to make bigger linebackers key in on Debo. So guys like
Okay.
Terry can probably work the middle of the field a bit better. Zach Ertz, he might get a lot more carries, not carries, catches. So I see it as an upside for Terry. Maybe he may not see it that way, but I see it as something we can be like, they might have, Dan Quinn might have something here. He may really have something, something that the 49ers couldn't capitalize on. He might be able to.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate the compliment, man. Take that, take that. It's a compliment.
Captain
I love to
America.
be like Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really all for me, man. What you got to add? You
Um,
little
all right, man. Little no huddle real quick, man. I'm gonna just throw out some things I was looking at, man, watching some films, some quarterbacks. Um, just some predictions for some quarterbacks this season. I'm gonna just do five, random five. I have a bunch here, but I'm gonna just do five. Number one, Dak Prescott. This is just his stats, passing stats. I got him going for 4,400 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Um, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, both healthy, and Jake Ferguson. I see him playing pretty good. So be on the lookout for that. Um, Justin Herbert, 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 INTs. I don't know, man. It's so iffy with Justin Herbert, man. He threw for 5,000 yards before, but I don't like what Harbaugh is doing with him, man. I just don't understand. Don't understand that. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 INTs, 500 rushing yards, 9 rush touchdowns. Probably gonna have another solid year. Probably won't touch 4,000, but he needs some credit. You gotta put some respect on his name, man. Put some respect on his name. Um, Jaden Daniels. This is with Terry, by the way. This is with Terry. 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 INTs, 850 rushing yards, 9 TDs. Um, he's gonna be a top pick for MVP. Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Hmm.
And the last one, I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. 4,600 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, 11 INTs, 650 rushing yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns.
Okay. So you brought up all these predictions for stats. It sounds to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're banking on Josh Allen winning MVP of the league.
I didn't even give the rest of my I just
Oh,
I
I'm
just gave
sorry.
you five right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I just gave you five, but
Okay.
yeah, take it how you want. Hey, but there is a star by his name for being in the MVP conversation.
So out of the names you
All I'll say.
mentioned, you think Josh Allen, you think Jaden Daniels, not McDaniels. You think those two will be in an MVP conversation? Do you think Pat Mahomes will be in it? Or
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like I'll kind of leave on this, but I feel like players like Pat Mahomes aren't normally in the MVP conversation solely because they're not as, I guess, dynamic as a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. But that doesn't mean I don't think he should be. Like I think that Patrick Mahomes is virtually the best quarterback year in and year out. Consistency, you know what you get from him. He always comes through in a clutch. And they've had what the best record regular season, postseason for the past since Patrick Mahomes basically became a starter. So I think that he should be in the MVP conversation every year. But
yeah.
I don't like his wife or his brother. So yeah.
Oh, brother, man. Okay. So yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's all for me, man.
well, guys. Guess
It's
that's
been
gonna
real.
wrap it up.
Yeah, it's been a long pod right here.
This podcast is sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper.
Let's go.
Better than
Let's get it.
Pepsi. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, one more thing, one more thing. Go check out some Trey Murphy highlights when you get the chance. You, the
Trey
listener,
Murphy highlights, not whatever
Trey
you were
Murphy
saying earlier.
highlights.
Trey
Go watch
Murphy.
some Trey Murphy highlights. Come back to me. You, the comments below. Let me know what you think about Trey Murphy. Well, that's gonna do it here from us, man. Y'all take it easy, and we'll get back to y'all sometime soon. All right, peace out.
All right.